Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and welcome back to another movie review. In tonight's movie review, I'm going to be doing a movie review on the new M. Night Shyamalan movie that just came out yesterday. And of course, me and my cousin Ashley went to see this movie at Regal Snowden Square tonight. Yeah, we went to the 6 o'clock showing for this movie, and that's going to be on M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin. Yep, Knock at the Cabin. So Knock at the Cabin is about a little girl named Wen who basically has like two fathers named Eric and Andrew, while they're vacationing at a remote cabin in the woods. All three of them, Eric and Andrew and Wen, all three of them are actually being taken hostage by four strangers as Wen meets this mysterious stranger known as Leonard. And so, and pretty much, the four armed strangers, they pretty much demanded to make a choice to avert the apocalypse, which they claim to be that there's like an apocalypse happening. And of course, Leonard tells Eric, Andrew, and probably Wen, he basically tells them they have to one of them has to make a sacrifice, and confused, scared, and with limited access to on the outside world, the family must decide what they believe before all is lost. And yeah, and of course we got ourselves another M. Night Shyamalan movie that came out this year in 2023. Yep, the start of February. So me and my cousin Ashley went to see this movie earlier tonight, and yep, this is my dog Louie, guys. Yep, he's about to relax. So yeah. But yeah, so anyway, like I said, me and my cousin Ashley went to see this movie at Regal earlier tonight, and I'm gonna have to say, guys, this movie was actually pretty enjoyable. I actually thought it was a pretty good M. Night Shyamalan movie that came out in 2023 this year. Yeah, this movie actually ended up being pretty good, and while this movie may not be considered as one of M. Night Shyamalan's most best movies in years, this was still a pretty fun movie. It was pretty good. It was solid. And pretty decent as well. And I gotta say, M. Night Shyamalan actually does a pretty solid job working on this film. Like the way he writes the film. I mean, the screenplay does get a little predictable because in context terms of an M. Night Shyamalan movie, you knew exactly what this movie was going for, since M. Night Shyamalan worked on this film. And pretty much, M. Night Shyamalan is basically known for his supernatural plots and twist endings. But I think this movie is actually one of the rare times where there was technically not really like a real twist ending or something like that. Because I know we've seen that in most of other M. Night Shyamalan's films, like The Sixth Sense and yeah, and I bet we can all agree that his take on The Last Airbender was one of the worst movies of all time, and that one sucked big time. But And of course, yeah, M. Night Shyamalan also worked on Lady in the Water, which I remember seeing previews for that, M. Night Shyamalan's Lady in the Water. But yeah, it's oh yeah, and this movie's also rated R, and it's there hasn't really been an M. Night Shyamalan movie that got an R rating since The Happening. Yeah. And of course, yeah, and Shyamalan also did Signs as well. Shyamalan has worked on a lot of movies. Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. Yeah. Oh yeah, and in 2021, M. Night Shyamalan worked on Old, which I know a lot of people out there didn't really like Old that much, but for me, I just think Old was just an okay movie. But for Shyamalan's new movie that just came out, Knock at the Cabin, I gotta say this was actually pretty good. I gotta say, the performances in this movie I thought were great. I thought the actor who played Leonard was actually the same guy, the same Dave Bautista. He's actually the same guy from the Guardians of the Galaxy films, the MCU, and he was in My Spy. Yeah. Oh yeah, and of course, and I thought the little girl who played Wen in the film, I thought she did great, and Jonathan Groff was in this film too, and I gotta say, Jonathan Groff also did a good job in this film too, because there is some good acting in this movie, and and it's pretty much, it's pretty much what it's like to see like an M. Night Shyamalan movie in theaters. And I never really saw any of his films in theaters all the way up until Knock at the Cabin. And it's kind of played out as like an apocalypse mystery horror movie at some parts. Well, this movie kind of doesn't really feel like a horror movie, even though it's not really like a flat-out horror movie. Even though this movie is considered to be a scary movie or some sense or of some sort, but obviously that's not really saying much. And oh yeah, the opening Universal logo was actually the old-fashioned vintage Universal logo that they used in I think that's actually like even before 1990. It was like how it was like that starry space sky, and it's like we zoom into the Earth with the little rings there, and pretty much the byline said, as usual, a Comcast company. It's basically like one of the old vintage Universal logos before they did the 1990 logo. And I mean, if you guys have already seen the movie, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, yeah, and pretty much, there is some good acting in the film, and the screenplay does get a little predictable, but I gotta say, overall, aside from all that, Knock at the Cabin was a pretty good movie from 2023 by M. Night Shyamalan, and I'm gonna give Knock at the Cabin 3.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I recommend giving this one a watch. I recommend checking it out. And there you have it, guys. That's going to be it for my movie review on Knock at the Cabin. And that's going to be it for this video. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.